Good afternoon, my YouTube viewers. It's Crystal here. I'm on the third video for the Learn R the Easy Way. And in this particular video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going into importing and exporting data in R. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to import a CSV file in R. So a CSV file means comma separated value. So that's CSV. So R has its own inbuilt function on how to import a CSV file. So data becomes read.csv brackets and then the path of the CSV file that you want to read. So in this particular video, what I've done is I've imported California Housing Train.csv, and so that is one of the sample data in Google Colab. So I could have imported a CSV file that I have made, but I decided just to use a tabular CSV file in Google's Colab Jupyter Notebook. So, and then head data means you're going to read the first 6 rows of the data frame along with all of the columns of data. So that's the difference between head in R and head in Python. Head in R, you're reading the first 6 rows of data starting with 1, and head in Python, you read the first 5 rows of data starting with 0. So that's the difference between R and Python. So now what we're going to do is we're going to read an Excel file into R. So basically what you have is R does not have its own inbuilt function to read an Excel file. So you have to use a library. So we're going to load the library into the cell in the Jupyter Notebook, being library brackets read Excel. So then we're going to read the Excel file into the Jupyter Notebook. So data becomes read underscore Excel, and then it's going to be the link to the file. And in this link to the file, I copied the path of the file, and it is yield df. And so this yield df was a file relating to pesticides. So what it does is it reads all of the columns and the first 6 rows of data. And so in this particular data frame, the index starts with a 0. And since the index starts with a 0, it's going to be 0 to 5. So that's your data frame for yield underscore df XLS. And now what we're going to do is we're going to read a text file into R. And again, I have a text file called daffodils. So data becomes read.table. And again, what you're going to do is you're going to put the path of the file. And so the path of this file, daffodils, is in my Jupyter Notebook because I moved it into the Jupyter Notebook sample data. And then when I moved it into the Jupyter Notebook of sample data, said header equals false and separation equals tab. And then you get a warning message. And then so we're going to read the data. And this is the daffodils poem. It says, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze, continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. They stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves of glee. A poet could not be but gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills, and dances with the daffodils. So there we have read in this poem called Daffodils, and unfortunately I don't remember who wrote the poem, but it's a famous poem, which is why I was able to get the text for it. And now, after we have read in the text file, what we're going to do is we're going to create a CSV file and write data to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to create the data frame. Data becomes data.frame, and name is the elements Alice, Bob, and Charlie. Age is the elements 25, 30, and 28. And score is the elements 90, 85, and 88. So we're going to write the CSV file. So equals mydata.csv and row.names equals false. So file exists is mydata.csv, and then you have data. So we call the data frame up, and so you see that we have called up the data frame, and we have written the data into a CSV file. And unfortunately, oh, here we go. I'm just looking to see. So the file should be in here, but because I made it a while ago, it's not in here. But what we'll do is we'll run the file. And then so when we run the file, you see mydata.csv. So it's come up, it's not under sample data, but it's under so what we can do is we can look over here and we can say copy path. And when you copy the path, I just want to copy it so content mydata.csv. So you can see that's your path as content mydata.csv. So that's it for reading and writing data into R. And the next video is going to be data manipulation in R. And we're going to go ahead and go through some more ways that you can manipulate data in R. So this concludes the video on importing and exporting data in R. If you like my video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope that you decide to watch the next one.